But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
Yo.
Hello, bud.
How you doing, man?
Oh, what can you play, mate?
You know, I've actually got something special today. I've written an original song, but
Yeah.
I'm really bad at coming up with titles. So I wonder if you can help me and title this song.
Title the song.
But-
What's it about?
Well, here's the thing. I want to do it a little differently today. I want you to give me 3 random words and see if the song that I play fits one of those words.
Right, 3 random words. Wales,
Wales,
Cardiff.
Cardiff, and that's like a city in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Premier League.
Premier League. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Wales, Cardiff, which is a city in the UK, and Premier League. All right, let's rock.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, kill it every time and we never fail. They can feel me in LA all the way out to Wales. Any problem that we face, that's what we solve, and we're the whales. Cause I stay intelligent like a dolphin, yeah. Come off the top of the brain, rappers I fill them with anguish, feel like a dolphin. Cause you know I'm speaking my language. I'ma put it down when I flex with the strong speed. Shouts out to Wales, I rock shows out in Swansea. Whoa, rappers they ain't ready for the Mackie. Whenever I be rapping, dog, I'm quick to make it happen. I go in, these other rappers do fail. Matter of fact, I swim deep like a blue whale. I play no part, I read no script, this is for art. I spit my lyrics direct from the heart. I'm not a whale, though I'm a shark. Every time I spit, I scare them, coming in like it's Jaws. I do lyrics off at the top, I spit this with no flaw, yeah. Rappers is rapping, that's cool, but Mac is an artist. Matter of fact, I bet they feel this, all the way out there in Cardiff. H-Mac, you better keep your distance. These rappers ain't driven, they driving they car different. H-Mac, y'all know I'm stretching the words. The way I rhyme is so impressive, I be flexing absurd. Yeah, y'all know that I kill it when I spill it right off the head, right? Shouts my man who done matched the red chair, right there to the red mic. I'ma call it how I see it when I'm on it, I'ma set these words free. Hit me up on the red mic, and he's rocking that jersey. And it's too hard to believe, when I spit they be in a squeeze. H-Mac bring them to their knees, and I got that incredible steez. Y'all better believe, I be scoring like I'm playing in the Premier League. H-Mac really going deep in the zone, cause DJ Premier's in a league of his own. This for the hip-hop legends, y'all know that I spit it from the fire of my scorching soul. On the field I'm scoring goals, take it to another level, settle and I go against the grain. I be moving like a rebel when I'm doing it. You know I'm pursuing it. I'ma take it to the top of this and I'ma keep on rhyming till apocalypse. I'm like I'm never dropping this. I'm laying it all deep in the pocket. I am not the one for playing with. I take you higher and higher whenever I'm spitting, delivering fire. Shouts to my man, I got your jaw dropping. Y'all know that I'm putting these rappers in coffins. And I'm sick with the rhymes. Get your mind open like them blinds right behind. Oh no, y'all know that I'm ready to spark. When I rhyme, the lights go out. Kinda like your room going dark. But we turn them lights back on. Cause I know that I come in strong. H-Max ain't rhyming tight off the tip of the metal. They know I'm shining bright. Let's go. Y'all know that we put up a fight. Not only on this mic, I'll be controlling your lights. Yeah, off the tip with the dopest flow. For your lights, dog, my brain is the remote control. Let's go.
Wow.
There we go. Where did you disappear to, babe? Where did you disappear to? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No, I can now.
Well, it says my connection's shite.
Oh, I can hear you now. Well, your connection's good now. It's okay at the minute.
Well, it wasn't. It was shite.
There you go. Well, what? Is that why you restarted the laptop?
Yeah, because I came in and I seen that and I was like, no, like, because
But
last time
I've been getting a shite connection as well, babe. I don't know if it's to do with the hot weather or not, but I've been getting, like, in here, like, it's been going down to 0 and that, but when I've looked on the YouTube side, it's still been fine. But I don't know.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Roger.
Hey, PJ, Vicky.
Hi, Rog.
Are you good? Chilling. By the way, you picked this movie tonight. Oh, this is a movie you picked.
Who, chilling?
No,
Vicky.
Roger picked this movie.
Roger?
Yeah. What movie is it?
Ridiculous 6.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
After the Chosen.
I've never seen it.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's on Netflix. It's on Netflix. So, should be good. Right, let's say hello. Do you want to say hello to people, baby? Why?
Hello, people. No, I'm joking. Oh, of course I will.
Weirdo.
Sarcastic bitch.
Yep.
Cookie. Roger.
Yes.
Paul Joe. Chilling in the house. Bazaar as always. Mr. Super Sidewinder. Hi, Thomas. Good to see you in chat again. Hi, Jono.
In the house?
Jono in the house.
I don't think Ryan's here. It's been a while since he typed that in.
Probably not.
He hasn't been coming in so much lately. Mind you, I didn't stream this afternoon because I was streaming tonight. It was just too warm and shit, and I didn't sleep well. So, yeah. And then I took a day off the other day because something came up. Can't remember. But Ryan hasn't been coming in as much lately. I've just sent him the link just in case.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't been in our streams at all, hardly.
Oh, hasn't he?
Just about 15 minutes in the last week.
Maybe he's got something going on. Ryan Esquire, Ted Theodore Logan. Know what I mean? Right, it starts normal with a couple of Jim's observations. He's done 2 new ones. One's called Wolf Child. Obviously, for the Wolf Child was not in chat. But if he does, I'll tell him it's been played if he comes in.
Yeah, I want to get a hold of a P900 and see what kind of special effects it has on it.
Hey, is Aaron Armstrong offered you 35 grand to go to Antarctica?
No, he didn't.
Oh, right, because I heard he did. I even messaged you today and text and saying, if he has offered you, don't accept that crap.
No, I wouldn't. No, but if you can get a video with them saying they were going to do a live stream from Antarctica, McToon will give you $500 cash. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, you can tempt somebody else with that cash because I'm not going to do it. But
no, he's not going to.
They definitely said it.
But no. Duffy didn't say it himself. It was Candace Owens' crew that were planning on doing it.
Yeah, they set it up on Rumble, and then they got on set. Sort had it ready. Fell asleep when it was going, and then when he woke up, it had gone, and it had been gone all night. So they got about 4 hours worth, I think, something like that.
Yeah, they wanted me to take McToon's challenge too on something else, and I said, I don't have that money to put up in escrow. I don't have $100,000. I can just poof, here it is.
Exactly.
Chilling.
They're ridiculous.
Chilling, weird you say that because I've literally just done a community post with pictures of the last room I've decorated.
Ha! Oh, you've been painting, have you? Vicky has as well. Vicky has as well.
I painted yesterday and it was a nightmare.
What were you painting?
The bathroom. But like the worst bit for me is the pipes. I can't.
That's
You
it.
can't paint pipes? Come on, pipes are hard to paint, right?
Do you know what it is, Roger? They put them so close to the wall and so near each other that you can't get a paintbrush underneath them. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, absolutely. Engagement tunes are completely.
Your flat's older, isn't it? It's like a mid-50s, probably.
I don't live in a flat.
Oh, yeah. You live in the
She lives in a bungalow.
I live in a bungalow. Yeah, look, I'll show you
my shack, your shack, and a bungalow. My Shadrach, me shack, and a Abednego. That's what I used to call them. My shack, your shack, and a bungalow.
Flat.
Yeah. I got a chance to go over to the Pig Slappers mock channel and saw the crap he made about you guys. It pissed me off.
I haven't watched that. I don't want to know what it says. The only thing I ever watched is when he put my fat belly on screen dancing back and forth with my head on somebody. Then he was very artistic with it, and then he put his face on a body. So no, I haven't watched any of his videos except that one, and I only watched it because Vicky commented. Vicky made a video on it or live.
This is the room I painted.
Yeah.
Where are the pipes at?
Down below.
I ain't showing you that.
The pipes down. Like,
lucky I didn't rip them
underneath the radios.
But I made.
Do
you know what I did? Because I had grey paint left from when I painted the hall.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some tester pots of black paint and mixed them in with the grey to make a different shade of grey. And then I put glitter in it because you have to have glitter in your paint in this house.
Why? She does.
It's boring if you don't.
She does. I don't.
I've
Big
got
Bang.
glitter in.
Big Bang, good to see you, man. Good to see you.
I haven't got glitter in the hall, but everywhere else I have in the paint.
Yeah, Big Bang's in here too.
They're pretty.
Cool.
That's a fancy shitter.
It's better looking than mine. Well,
The
paint is definitely better. But we got marble counters in our bathroom and a huge, massive tub. That's like half of the damn apartment.
Then they hear Brenda call me a retard because I said about bath defects. Brenda turned around and said, "Oh, you're a retard, PG. I mean, you've got mental. No, you've got a birth defect. You're a retard."
Did his milkshake bring all the boys to the yard again?
That's the funniest thing Brenda's ever said.
Brenda
Mickey
is a naturalist. I learnt today that Brenda is a naturalist, right? But a naturalist that doesn't identify as their natural self.
No.
That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's literally on the base value of it.
But it's just a shame that they call evolutionists naturalists. You know what I mean?
There's no evolution in nature.
No, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's a shame they call evolutionists naturalists. You know what I mean? Big Bangists, naturalists. Origins of species guys, naturalists. Stupid, because natural can only come from supernatural. It can only be created. You know what I mean? That comes from supernatural. So we should be supernaturalists. There you go.
If you're offended by swearing, don't zoom into my bathroom pictures. My son. Just saying.
Did you see the latest John Thor little movie he put it together? He did an AI movie. John Thor did an AI movie on the history of flat Earth. It's funny as hell.
John Thor?
Yeah. John Thor.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah. I put it on my channel, I think the night before. I got a laugh out of it. People are like, damn, AI is getting so good you can't tell if it's real people or not.
Yeah, it's getting mad.
Hi, Justin.
Justin Johnson in the house. And I saw it was good. I saw that it was good.
I wonder what Brenda's dead name is. Is it Brendan or
I
Brandon?
have no idea.
Lord knows.
I wondered that myself.
You know what I mean?
You could be different.
It was when Brenda was talking about Keith's, you know what?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we all know Brenda's Benz because it must took it.
Yuck. Babe, don't let know.
I'm just saying.
No, not for Brenda talk.
Just saying. Like, it's true though, isn't it? It was a rather weird question. Which way does your bend? Was like,
I
what?
think Brenda's name is Engelbert.
Is it? You sure?
Engelbert. Aye.
No.
Because he likes to humperdink.
That's an insult to Engelbert Humperdinck. And it's
Julio.
not even his real name, but it's still insulting to him.
Frank. His name is Frank. To be frank, I've never been frank with you.
Do you know how you know what Brenda looked like before the trying to change? You just chop some of his hair off and you sound that's what he looked like. Well, it's true though, isn't it? Like if you've lived in the wrong body all your life and you go to live as a woman instead of a man, why put the amount of effort you put into being a man into trying to look like a woman? Because there's zero effort there.
Good to see you on the thing, but look. Brenda live and unplugged. Bill Gates is Brendude.
Bill Gates is Brendude. Brenda wishes he was that rich. He lives in his mum's garage. It does look like Brenda lives in a garage though, doesn't it?
I remember 5 years ago. In Brandon's. Brenda calling us all boomers. And Brenda's probably older. Brenda called us boomers 5 years ago. Not me personally, but I was in the chat.
Brenda said you're
mentally.
you know what I mean? Brenda said you're a retard.
Well, no, Brenda says I've got a birth defect because I'm a retard.
Oh yeah. Says the man that doesn't know his gender.
I must be, because Brenda said so.
I don't know how does she know that.
I must be reggae because Brendude said so. Definitely.
You know, though, Justin, funny you say that, because the troll told me I sound like an old hag, and I swear down, Bev.
Don't swear down.
Bev sounds more like a hag than any hag.
Don't swear down on anything.
No, but you know what I mean.
Did you hear what I told Bev today, right?
No.
Don't blow on the paper. His Flash was showing him what a plane was with a piece of paper.
Aye.
And he didn't get it. Keith had to explain it to him.
No doubt. No doubt.
The Bernoulli principle. And when he asked him, the next question was, if in the floor in your house, would you call it a plane? He's like, no, I call it the floor.
Look,
Bev
what Bev says, some of what Bev says, I understand what he was saying about the table. Understand what he's saying, but he's being too pedantic. He knows what Flats was on about. You know what I mean?
He knows that. That's why he does that.
What Flats was on about.
Bev's ass is full of splinters from sitting on the fence all those years.
Well, I think it's more like Emma runs Bev's life, and whatever Emma wants done, it happens.
Who's Emma?
Emma, you don't know who Emma is?
She's
a mod over on the next level. She runs the show basically. She comes up with all the logical arguments and stuff. So yeah, it's not.
It's not Craig's friend. That AI thing, is it?
No. She's an actual. She's a girl. She's in somewhere in I think West London. I think near Bev. Yeah. But she's been a mod on the channel, and Buster's their musician. So it all revolves around those three people. And it was one of the guy in the. There was another guy in the group. His name was Domesticated Primate. He was really cool, laid back, didn't have any problems. He just passed away. I don't know what else, but it's kind of weird. I know. You've heard of him, right, EJ?
I've never had any deals with him.
Neither have
I don't even really talk to Bev. I've talked to Bev before through like comments and that. Once upon a time, I stuck up for Bev for a certain thing. But that's when I thought Bev was actually, because I used to see what Bev said, and it sounded like he described a flat earth to me, so I thought he was a flat earther. You know what I mean?
No.
Absolutely. He talks about there's no curve for the longest time, and at all horizontals are just elevations above or below the horizontal. And,
exactly.
Bev said he'd like
good to see you, Terry. Good to see you, bro.
It's kind of almost. You ever watch his intro to a show?
Nope.
Oh my
I've never watched Bev. I hear his voice and I go, but he came in my comments for a post a while back and said I would have a conversation sometime, and I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, you're not even someone I've spoke about or spoke to in chat. So why would I have a conversation with you?
I don't know. And the thing is with Bevy, he claimed it in my chat the other day that he was the reason Ranty went back to the Globe.
Oh, Bev.
He said that literally.
Oh my goodness! What a claim! What a stupid.
He did it on a live show.
Ranty's not a Glober. He's just pretending to be a bloody Glober because he took the money. He knows it's flat. Ranty knows it's flat. There's no way Ranty can do all these observations, especially that one with Sleep Moore and that. You know what I mean, Anthony? And say it's a globe. I mean, for him to say it's a globe because of that Blackpool image, he debunked more things like that before. You know what I mean? So what's he talking about? What's he talking about?
I've been watching all these climbers go up Mount Everest, and I've seen the views and that, and I ain't seen no curve.
God, well, there you go. Well, I went over that Blackpool photo with on Brian's Logic stream last night, and he took the photo out again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
And he took that photo out, and he presented it proper, and he went to angular size right away, and he quoted Conspiracy Cat saying, I'm going to give you a flat earth to get the angular size to the mountains in the photo.
Roger, that thing in private chat, I don't want an apology from him.
Okay.
I
won't ask for it then.
I don't want anything from him. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen him like I don't have the flat.
He came in on a soccer account in Flats's chat and said something to me about nobody cares or something when a troll was asking me about someone being racist, and he came in on a soccer went, Vicky, nobody cares, with a crying laughing face, and I'm like,
he's an idiot, so let's not talk about him.
Okay,
and I just said I wasn't talking to you, twat, and left.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's not talk about them. They're assholes. As far as I'm concerned. Right, let's do this video.
I completely forgot what all he had said or done. It just completely slipped my mind.
Yeah, he's nice. He does try and say hello to me in Flats, as I noticed that once, because Flats put it up on the screen. Says that Flats and all that, PJ, but I'm not interested. Anyway, let's get this up. It's Wavy. I don't know if I've ever done anything from WavyWebSurf before. He's not a Christian, anything like that. As you know, my topics when it's movie night is not always scripturally based, but it's definitely based on this guy is being a liar. So, you know what I mean? You got to talk against lies and that. So he's obviously faking a disability whilst begging for money and stuff. But I don't know the full story. WavyWebSurf. Link's not in the chat. It's gone grayscale. But I'll sort that out.
I like the thumbnail, PJ. It was awesome.
The thumbnail. You like the thumbnail?
That's a good one.
Right. Let's watch it anyway. Let's do it. It's quite. How long is this one? That's why I do a long intro, because it's quite. I think it's quite a long one.
I have one more question for you, PJ. Did you ban Igor from your
Igor?
stream?
No, I did.
Well, would have been probably Vicky did ages ago. But he's a troll. Of course, you would have.
Yeah, I banned him. I banned him last night from mine. So.
Oh yeah,
I banned even more today. Hi, Saddlebum.
He's a troll. Like definitely, like Igor. Anything like that comes in my chat. Now they're gone. That's why like when what's his name? Akuma virus came in, I knew he was a glober, but he's always been respectful to me. So I've never banned him because he hasn't been an anti-flat earther to me. He hasn't been disrespectful at all to me. Yes, people debate him in the chat, that Akuma, but Akuma's always been cool with me. So I let him in. He's cool here as long as he's not being insulting towards any of us. Simple.
Oh, just so everyone's aware, AA and AJ have got multiple socks now, even more than they had before.
Let's not give him any.
No, I'm just saying. So if you got more trolls, that's why.
Yeah, just don't give them any. Forget them. Everybody forget them. They're assholes. Just don't. Right, let's do it.
Go for it.
To get some eat.
This is Gary Thompson, the most mentally
give me money, get some eat. Now I mean, a lot of people might see he's faking that straight away, but initially people will be conned by that. They'll think, he does seem to be mentally handicapped or whatever. But yeah.
Give me money and to get some eat.
This is Gary Thompson, the most mentally deficient man in the state of Kentucky. And before you call me ableist, it has nothing to do with his cognitive ability. This guy's just a complete idiot that can't stop getting in trouble.
Gary, I know what your deal is now. Let's just be real here, okay?
I'm not doing no deal. Leave me off camera. Not gonna be on it.
He gets caught out, and then still doubles down and says, acts like that, like he's got a mental defect or disability. You don't get it.
No, I think it's really sad that people pretend that they've got something wrong with them.
He's doing it for money. But that's what I'm saying. I thought you meant you didn't get it. I mean, what do you mean you don't get it? He's doing it for money.
John, Luke could pull this gig.
Yeah, probably.
Arrest after arrest after arrest, this precious little beggar would have the world believe that...
The two fingers. Look, you can tell there that he probably just keeps on doing it, but he gets busted for it, then goes to a different area, so it continues. You know, it happens with beggars in Coventry, and these are just the ones that are begging for the money for their drugs. You know, they're not even homeless. They've got a hostel to go to or whatever. Yes, they're banging drugs, but they go in town and they walk around town asking people for bus fare and stuff to say they've got to go and see the sun, but they've lost their bus fare money and they've lost their ticket and all that. And he's just coming out of school now and all that kind of stuff. And then they'll go around everybody, get as much money, and then go and score. But then they do the same. They do the same the next day. What?
Got a pound.
Oh yeah, they do the same next day. And yes, they'll ask the same people because they don't always know the same face. They don't know they're asking the same faces because people continually go to town, don't they? They do go to town every day or whatever. So they end up asking the same people. So people get to know them. So they move on, but they still do it. They give the same story. And they're like, dude, you gave that story yesterday when I gave you money.
I had a girl come up to me once in Cov after I'd got off the streets and that, and I was shopping, and she was crying, and she's like, can I have a fag? And I gave her a fag. And I gave her a couple of quid, and then I seen her a couple of days later, and she was with that Scottish Dougie, you know, the one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, I ain't giving you money again. I ain't giving you nothing again.
Trish.
No, it wasn't her. It was a different girl.
Okay.
Not somebody I knew. And I was like, yeah, I won't be giving her anything again.
No. I know. And some people who beg, yeah, I mean, I don't mind it because they are down in their luck. They have, but some people are on the street for no fault of their own, just some kind of mistake happened in their life. They end up, you know what I mean, they maybe just have a bit too much pride and they don't admit they need help and they end up on the street. So, yes, I understand. Look, people, I don't get offended by people begging. Not at all. Even when I was on drugs, it's just something I never did. I tried it once. I made £3 in the whole night, so I never, ever did it again. And I was so embarrassed by doing it. I understand some people doing it. But when it comes to, like, when saying you're homeless when you're not, you know what I mean, saying it's for food when it's actually for drugs, I don't agree with it, obviously. Even though I've been in that predicament myself.
But
I was going to
say, like over here, people on the street still get benefits. It's not like they get no money.
Of course.
And it's not. And like, for me, when I was homeless, the majority of the people that begged weren't even homeless, and they weren't like, I knew people in hostels and that would go out begging and brag about how much they made in a day.
Yeah, they do, and they make a lot. They'll come back with notes and everything. Some don't make much, but some have regulars. They'll sit outside nightclubs at certain times because they know the drunk people coming out. And some have regular people that just give them money to help out, even though they know they're on drugs and stuff like that. Asking them on the streets, then getting in a Mercedes to leave. Yeah. And that's kind of what, like the Romanian ones, like the ones that we call the stereotypical Romanians that come over, that are not over for asylum, they're over here just for money and stuff. They pretend they're homeless, they pretend to they sell fake gold, and they also pretend they're homeless, and they beg as well. But it's not just them, it's all over the place. You know what I mean? But it's all different types of people beg that don't need to.
I lived in Stratford, and in Stratford you have seasonal beggars. Yeah, and they'll come because it's a tourist town, because like people go there because of Shakespeare and that. And you get seasonal beggars that will come for the summer and they'll beg. And I remember years ago, one of them said to me he made like 80 quid a day just sitting there begging.
I've seen someone get a 200 quid drop just on Christmas for being outside the nightclub. 200 quid drop. And I was lucky I was with them. I didn't want to, but I was rattling. I wouldn't beg. I was across the street. You know what I mean? And he was begging, and he had a 200 quid drop. 200 quid drop.
You do though, big time.
He got a 200 quid drop, but other people would boot him when he was asleep. You know, like other people when he was asleep. So you get that as well. You get the other side of it as well, you know.
But Big Pine said, when I lived in the city, I became very cold towards humanity. And you do, because you don't trust people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I was homeless for 3 years, guys, and I not once begged for money ever.
No.
What, street homeless or just homeless?
Yeah, street homeless, dude. Nothing, nowhere to go.
Yeah,
and it's hard. And to be fair, the majority of homeless people don't go out and sit in a public area. Because like you stay out of the way.
Yeah. I asked street homeless because in Coventry now, sometimes you can be in a hostel. So you're still classed as homeless. You haven't got your own home. You haven't got a rented and abode, but you're in a hostel or something. You're still classed as homeless, but you're not on the street. So you've got street homeless. That's why I asked for street homeless.
Street homeless.
You can also sofa stuff, can't you? You can also go around people's houses. You've not got your own abode, but you can live with people here and there and that. So that's what I was saying. Was it street homeless or? But you said street homeless. Yeah, same.
No, I was homeless. I was homeless.
Yeah.
I didn't have a place.
I've been on the street, not for 3 years, but I've been on the street. I've been homeless for more than 3 years, but when I was on the street, it was like 3 months. But when I was on the street, but I'd been homeless like on and off for years.
I get why some of them talk to themselves, because after 3 years of being with nobody, you end up talking to yourself.
Yeah, it's hard,
anybody else to talk to.
Yeah. But and especially here in Coventry, the certain groups of homeless people will stick together and they'll go score together. They'll argue and all that crap as well. You get the drinker ones, or they get the drinker ones and the heroin ones. You get the crack ones, or you get the crack ones and the heroin together. You know what I mean? Or you get the drinker, crack, and heroin. You get them all piling together. So they kind of stick together, but there's still no loyalty to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Anyway, none of this video. I've got 30 seconds.
Sadly, though, in Coventry, there has been an unaliving of an addict.
I know.
It's very sad.
It's not good. And that just happened lately. And it's just a twin. And I mean, I don't know her well, but I've seen her about, and I've spoke to her. She was only in her 20s when I last seen her. She's 34 now, but in her 20s when I last seen her.
But yeah, sad.
Right, let's go.
He's a charity case, a sweet special needs angel that only the most jaded of passers-by could refuse opening their wallets for. Well, just know if you do, you're
hanging outside of a church there. Did you notice that?
And he's fidgeting too. He's trying to be autistic.
Yeah.
Sucker and his latest scam victim. This is the story of one of America's most shameless frauds. This is the tale of the bogus beggar.
Yeah, I'm really good at it, really good. I clear about $100,000 a year doing this.
You know, Chillen, that's true. Just right from the dinghy straight into a 5-star hotel and more benefits than UK citizen. Absolutely, bro.
Can I just say, have Have you seen that recent thing? I think it was in Liverpool when one of said people walked into somebody's house while the people had their kids were in the bath, and the thing stood there and watched.
Wow.
What? What are you talking about?
One of the people that came, the way Chillin said, walked into somebody's house.
Okay.
They didn't know him, and he just stood watching their kids in the bath.
Well, they're sick. They're sick.
They need help. And if I met this guy, I'd probably kick his ass. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Just because what he does.
Be on camera, I break it.
I don't want to be in camera, I break it.
Investigators in Franklin County have arrested Gary Thompson on a rape charge.
Y'all gotta make some.
No, I didn't know this. Trusted to say that, but anyway, he's on a great charge.
Oh boy. Yay.
Born in Austin, Texas, Gary's introduction to the world of disability came on the back of a Honda three-wheeler. As a kid, he suffered a serious injury riding one of these.
I mean, I've never ridden a three-wheeler. I've ridden a quad, but I've never done a three-wheeler. But I remember three-wheelers before quads. You know?
I had one. That's where I got my accident on myself. I got a staph infection.
I had a toy one. Do you remember the toy cars you used to pull back and then they go on that way? I had one like this, but when you pull it back, there was a little disc that you placed in the back as a weight, so it would wheelie as it pulled away. You know what I mean? And stay up as a wheelie. Do you remember them, babe?
My kids had a quad when they were about, I think Jaden was like 3.
That's probably still that one. Yeah, well, I mean, they're good. They're good fun. Good fun. But
I slammed mine into a tree, dude, and it pinned my leg in between there and the tree in the rear wheel.
Used to ride it around the
small
farm.
one. That's quite a
Kids
small
used to
one.
ride it around the farm. My uncle had a company where he had like bounce castles and quads and that when we were kids.
That's a 250, PJ. That's not small.
I think that's a 250.
Yeah, it is. I know
Is
it.
it?
I've had one just like it. Yeah.
It looks quite small, engine. It's just maybe the person. It's just maybe how it's taken. Okay.
Yeah.
An injury.
It was a 400cc, the quad I used to do, but it was a farming one, so it wasn't very fast, but it was powerful. No, like pulling stuff about. I used to do jumps and all that in it. Kawasaki, a big green thing. I loved it.
That left him with mild to moderate left-sided hemiparesis, which would affect him
So he
for
has-
life. His mother.
So he has got some kind of disability then. Okay, I've put in the title about physical, but he is faking some physical things, so yeah, it's okay to keep that there, I think.
Look at the
You
money.
didn't get a lot though. Like you got what, 200,000? Maybe 3.
That's
Almost.
2.5 million.
Is that a million? Oh yeah, it's a million. Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. Judgment in the
That's a
night.
hell of a lot of money.
Just over 2.5 million, yeah. 2.55.
Yeah, but he's
5'6".
not mental.
5'6".
He's playing
Yeah.
in a mental. That wouldn't cause that kind of disability.
No, but come on, why are you begging if you've had all that money?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Was able to sue Honda and actually won $2.5 million in
Oh!
a settlement because
So
of
it was
this.
because of an accident he got that. He wasn't born with it. So yeah, there you go. So he's still faking. Still faking.
He's faking it.
Incident. Though partially handicapped and sometimes requiring a wheelchair to get around, Gary could in fact walk, and his cognitive abilities were intact. Well, sort of. Thanks to reckless.
Yeah, of course they were. You could tell his cognitive abilities are intact.
Yeah.
Turn around and telling you, I'll wreck that camera if you don't get it out of my face. Of course they are.
Him sitting there saying he makes 100,000 a year doing this.
There you go. There you go.
He knows.
Of course he does.
Spending, the settlement money would all but dry up during Gary's teenage years, and that's when a flair for criminality and fraud began to become apparent within him, with Gary stealing from his family members in various ways to get money, eventually leading him to be excommunicated from them entirely.
Thompson's uncle, Gary Horton.
Whitsitt did that to us once. Excommunicated us. Excommunicated us from True Earth.
True Earth. The True Earth cult.
I thought Whitsitt was excommunicate.
Oh, this is before the TFE thing. This was like 2 years ago.
Because he's what, the boss of Flat Earth.
Oh, it's funny. This is when this is just before Bob died, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know,
I
Bob.
think it was right after Bob died.
It was just right after Bob died. You're right. You're right.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Says his nephew has caused trouble since he was a teenager.
He forged 3 checks on me.
He says the family has given up on him.
He can go to no place, nowhere. He's run out of places to go.
After being kicked out, Gary would become a vagrant of sorts, traveling from state to state, begging strangers for money from the
state to state, because people get to know them. People say, look, I gave you money yesterday. I'm not giving it again today. You know what
I've
I
got
mean?
a question. Why is writing dodgy checks illegal activity?
What do you mean?
Because it's not here. Like, I've wrote dodgy checks in the past.
Yeah, but
I didn't get arrested for it.
No, but it's still, you're still not meant to do it. Just because you don't get arrested doesn't mean you say it's illegal.
It depends on how much you write it for. If you write it for more than $500, then it's called grand larceny. That's
he has grand theft if it's over $1,000. Simple as that. Yeah, it's grand theft if it's over $1,000.
Is it because your banks are federal?
Yes, we are. We're federal. All of them are insured by the Fed. Yeah.
By the way, anyone who thinks that I write dodgy checks, I was like 16. Get over it.
Well, don't tell people you write dodgy checks then when you don't.
I was like 16, and to be fair, they could have just took the money out of my bank, but they didn't.
Yeah, there you go.
The seat of his wheelchair. He barely scraped by this way, but relatively speaking, Gary did better than many of his panhandling cohorts. Being in a wheelchair gave him an inherent advantage in terms of evoking sympathy from strangers.
Exactly. You play on people's emotions and you start talking with that voice, as well as you've got a physical disability because you're accident now, and people's going to believe it. Some won't give a crap. But in general, people have got a heart, sympathetic heart. In general. Some people are not able to do anything about it, so you just get sympathy and stuff like that. But some people are, and they will do stuff. I mean, you in the States, you've got bigger places than us. I mean, Coventry's not a big city. Well, a big city for me, but for considering the size of cities and in the States, it's not big at all. So they're bound to be able to do it to a bigger degree where you're at. You know what I mean? And there's all.
What happened to the $2.5 million that he got? Where'd it go?
Yeah, exactly. Where did that go, man? There's that. I mean, he has got. I mean, he is out in the daylight. His pupils are very pinned. He might be on drugs. He might be on heroin because his eyes are very pinned. But it is light out. But the sun isn't shining brightly. So to me, it looks like he's on opiates or opiates or heroin itself, or an opioid. Sorry, because he's got very small pupils. Very small. Too small to be just out in the sun.
And when Gary realized this, he came up with a dastardly plan to increase his bumming income. In his own words, that plan was to
That's
act
what we
mentally.
call it here, it's bumming. If you are asking people for something all the time, you call it bumming. Where I'm from in Scotland, we call it scranning. Scranning of something. Well, scrounging or scranning. Scran can be food, but it's also like where I'm from, we say if you're scranning off somebody, that means you're begging off them. Stop scranning off them.
Bastard.
Stop scranning, you bugger.
Just a begging bastard.
Yeah,
It's just like how he gets free government money, but puts on bag of 10 years hungry and will go homeless. Exactly. I mean, I used to give Darwin money as well. Vicky used to hate it when I gave Darwin money.
I've never liked Darwin. What did you say, Rog?
I said, it's time for me to stop. I've been working too long. I need to start scranning.
Scranning. Right, I need to get someone's video played. I've only got 2 minutes to play. Let's do it.
Handicapped.
I am normal. It just helps to be mentally handicapped.
See what I mean? He spoke normal there. He spoke normally. I am normal. It just helps to be mentally handicapped. I mean, he thinks he's smart. He thinks it's good. He thinks it's easy money for him.
My money. Please help, but spare my wheelchair today and all my coins, somebody take it.
Possessing a degree in speech pathology, yes, I'm being serious about that.
He
Gary
got a
debuted his
degree in speech pathology. Oh my
Jesus.
goodness. So he's all in the con, man. He's all in the con. Was Big Pine saying, it's such a shame because I would help. Exactly. It's such a shame because I would help anyone in need if I can. It's unfair that we have to be leery of these people that will take advantage of kindness. Exactly.
I went from when I was on the streets. I knew obviously other homeless alcoholics, and even after I'd got off the streets and got my life together, I'd still see them and give them money to get a bottle of cider.
Oh, I did. I still did that. I did that with Hightower and people like that. Always with Hightower. You know, and Hightower is someone that chose to be on the street. He's been on the street that long that when he gets a place, he's stayed in a place now, but he used to jeopardize the place he got. He used to take it, but he would make sure he got kicked out of it so he could go back on the streets. He was that used to be on the streets. He wanted to go back on the streets, but he wanted to be sure. He wanted to show people that he was trying to get back into accommodation. He really didn't want to be accommodated.
Arwin, I don't like Arwin, and I'm not gonna pretend that I do. And he gets 1,800 euros, but lies about not having enough money. Like, that's ridiculous.
Amsterdam. Well, they've got a good benefit system over there, even better than the UK's. Anyway, let's carry on.
Well, you know, he needs croissants, PJ.
Oh yeah.
Cartoonishly voiced and ridiculous special needs character on the streets of Lexington, Kentucky. And the payoff was almost immediate. The man began making thousands of dollars a month using the dopey voice coupled with his wheelchair and drawn-up appearance, tricking kind-hearted strangers into thinking that he was a stranded, mentally handicapped person who had lost his family and needed bus money to get back to them.
See? Bus money, I told you. That's what they do here. I mean, even if they're just walking about and they're just looking junkified. Oh, if you got bus fare? I've lost my bus fare. I've got to go and see my son. You've got a meeting coming out of school right now. I've lost my ticket. I've lost money. Can you please give me bus fare? And I'll give you back tomorrow. I'll meet you here tomorrow and I'll give you back tomorrow. I promise. That's what they're like, you know.
Hi, Mojo.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Dude, I watched Canned Laughter yesterday. You ever watch that?
Which one?
Mr. Bean.
Who?
Mr. Bean. He's got a show called Canned Laughter.
No, I haven't watched that one.
British comedian.
Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson. Yeah.
So, I've got 800 free vacation money.
What are you on about?
Huh.
What are you talking about, babe?
And he brought a printer.
What are you talking about?
Tourette said, Arwin's rent is already paid. He got 800 free vacation money, and the idiot brought a new printer, but still wants money for croissants, coffee, or he'll die such a grifter. That's terrible.
I seen the episode that he was. I didn't watch it. I remember it through GMHC level, demanding that people put $20 at least in his PayPal by tomorrow, or there'll be no more about.
No. He set a thing, didn't he? He wanted 500 euro.
That was off Nathan. That was something.
Oh.
That was off Nathan Oakley and all that to take him back.
Oh,
to
yeah.
FBD.
Fucking bastard.
Dude, he threatened Nathan Oakley with something for 20 quid just one time. Just literally just out of the blue. Just threatened he was going to do something. I forgot what it was. But he does that all the time. That's how he gets money out of it. Nathan sent him a tenner.
I've got a printer and I paid 40 quid for it. Who spends 800 euros on a printer unless it's like doing something good?
I know, because like he says that nobody needs more than 3G when it comes to speed, when it comes to the internet, but yet when it comes to a printer, he has to get the best. Oh, yeah, it's such a contradiction.
I literally paid like 40 quid for my printer, brand new.
Right, I'm carrying on with this because I'm not getting anywhere.
People in
what word?
wheelchairs money that are handicapped.
Yeah,
I'll just not act
parasite.
retarded anymore and get the money and just I'll be normal.
Gary's self-described retarded persona was so successful, he garnered a sycophantic entourage of lesser criminals who escorted him around from place to place, pushing their disabled kingpin's wheelchair like orderly servants. In the Kentucky panhandling scene, Gary was both village idiot and king of the hill.
Try to
Man, yeah, I know, I get what you're saying, but no, this guy is faking it, though, Mojo. I know what you're saying with things like that, but this guy is known for faking it on the internet and that. So yeah, no, that's not probably why they're not doing it with this one. This guy is definitely faking. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, with other things like that, yeah, definitely, bro, definitely. But you wouldn't. I mean, you could still, like, even though he's trying to get money off you faking, like, you could still say, look, I know you're faking, bro, but tell him about Christ. You still do that, of course. You can still be kind that way. You know what I mean? But you don't, you know what I mean? Especially if they're faking it, you don't help them out with that way. I mean,
no.
Once bitten, twice shy. You know what I mean?
Makes you want to smack him. It really does. that look on his face, just like,
to the restaurant.
It's said that Gary's mentally disabled character became so effective at soliciting money that in 1 year he had made over $100,000 off unwitting, kind-hearted individuals. Yes, that's right. You're waking up at 7 a.m., bumper-to-bumper traffic on the way to work. Meanwhile, this guy is role-playing a mental disability and just cleared your net income for the year.
Yeah, I'm really good at it.
See? I'm really good at it. You know what I mean? He's hot. I mean, that's the kind of thing. I mean, the way he's spoken out the first time, I would have fell for it. You know what I mean? I've got a heart for people. But I won't be taking the piss off if I see it happen a second day and a third day, and then I realise that they're faking it. It's like, nah, man, I'll tell you about Christ, but I ain't giving you nothing. I would buy them something to eat. If they were hungry, I would buy them something to eat if I had the money and that, but you're not getting any money. Not anymore. Especially on the TV.
The people that keep doing it, man, I think that sometimes they might deserve getting taken for it because they're stupid enough to keep doing it. And
Can you remember that lad here that got banned from the town centre because he kept begging?
Jez.
That tall one.
Oh.
Remember?
Oh, you mean in where you're at?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant in Coventry.
And he kept begging, and he was following women to their cars and that. But he
was
would
being
tell them
aggressive
he was
with it, though.
hungry.
Yeah. He was being aggressive with it. He kept, like, they would say, no, look, I'll give you yesterday. He'd keep stopping outside shops and stuff until they gave him something. And then he was going to the doors and stuff, asking them for it.
Following women with little kids to the cars at night and
Yes.
stuff.
I remember I seen him asking a mother with a kid for money. I'm like, no, we know she's going to do it because she's, you know what I mean? It's bad. Anyway, go on. Go on.
But, like, I've seen people give him food because he's been begging that he's hungry, and people are giving food, and he's screamed and shouted at them to F off because he doesn't want the food. He wants money.
But in a film, he gets an Oscar.
Hi, Luke.
Yeah, good to see you, Luke.
Really good.
Gary got away with this scheme undetected for several years, but given the absurd nature of this disabled act,
such a sad lack of empathy. This kind of manipulation is terrible when there are people who are genuinely in terrible situations. Exactly right, bro. Exactly right.
This is why people ignore people, though, and people act like people are invisible because of scammers like that. It's terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
Exactly.
What there are places, man, I know in certain towns where you can go in there, and if you don't have a job, they'll feed you, clothe you, they'll make sure you're good. There's tons of organizations that do that on the regular. People who actually take advantage of that.
There is, but there is more. There is definitely that. But like say here, like Coventry's quite good for that. I mean, they used to be better with homeless people. There used to be loads more places around in Coventry, but not so much anymore. But you can still probably get some. If you haven't messed about all the organizations or whatever, you know what I mean? But it depends what city or town you're in. Some have got more facilities than others when it comes to the UK. There's definitely more cities that have got more, like for the homeless and for addicts than other smaller cities and that. You know what I mean?
Small towns
like,
and
when
that.
I'm from in Fraserburgh, it took ages to get any kind of methadone program or anything for heroin addicts because we were a small town and we had to get people coming from Aberdeen, which was 36 miles away. You know what I mean? And they would come once a week. That's when it first when they first started coming. And that was like 10 years after the problem started. You know what I mean? Maybe 15 years. You know what I mean?
I moved to Coventry homeless from Stratford because there was nothing. They had like a thing that opened like a couple of times a week, and that was it.
Yeah.
I worked for a small little organization called Sunshine in Flagstaff. My boss owned the restaurant I worked at, but his wife ran this thing called Sunshine Missions.
Right.
And what they do is they'll come and they'll feed you in the morning, they'll clothe you, and they'll give you an opportunity to go work labor forces. They got all kinds of other help with it, but they do that daily. And this guy owned 2 restaurants, and he and his wife and him ran this soup kitchen called Sunshine Missions. And now people that go through that program don't have a chance to do these kind of cons, man. They're getting actual help for the situation they're in. And if you don't do it, you won't get. They don't. After a week, if you keep coming back and you don't contribute,
this story's not fake.
I rethink. No, but the problem is, like,
fake, bro.
In the UK, there's lacks of services.
Yeah.
Like, you really do struggle, like, with mental health, addiction. Like, to get into a rehab in the UK is so hard. Isn't it? Unless you go to a Christian rehab. Hi, Four Jacks.
Four Jacks, good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man.
We don't have the facilities that we should have to help people in them situations.
Right. So we get further through this. So we've got 25 minutes of it to go.
It was only a matter of time before some folks got suspicious. Cracks began to show in the character as Gary became too comfortable in his handicap-accessible seat on the gravy train. When he thought people weren't looking, Gary sometimes would stand up unassisted from his wheelchair.
Yeah, the point, whether it was a fake story or not, the point still stands. These things happen.
He seemingly told strangers that he couldn't
I don't
walk,
think this is
and
a
there
big
were times that he could be seen conversing with associates using a completely different voice than the one heard when he was begging for money.
You were just talking to McFine a second ago.
When members of the public had good reason to believe that Gary was a fraud, and folks began reporting him to the police. So many reports were submitted that cops would actually hold a press conference about the so-called bogus beggar in February of 2013, which drew a small crowd. And guess who was hanging around outside the conference building as this meeting was going on? Seemingly basking in the glory of his own infamy, Gary was just hanging around outside, almost in spite of the public complaints about him. Yeah, it's like he was daring for someone to stand up to him, or, maybe even wheel up to him. Reporters from local LEX 18 News who were present at the press conference about the beggar.
LEX, have you had LEX news? Raj?
No, I haven't.
No,
It'd be Los Angeles, won't it?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Probably.
Yeah, I suppose LEX. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I suppose it would be.
But that's probably a big organization,
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
He's getting fame for it, man.
I mean,
any news coverage
possibilities that these stories are set up. You know what I mean? But it has been on the internet for a few years. This one, not this actual video, but this story of this guy. But the point still stands. These things definitely happen.
Big Pine said arresting people for feeding the homeless. Look, in the UK, you get arrested for a thought crime. So saying nothing.
It's bad.
Crime. That's a bad one.
No, it's an actual thing, though. By the way,
there is.
Yeah,
a
thought crime. Yeah.
Oh,
I should have been locked away a long time ago.
There was a man that prayed in his own head and got arrested for it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
would
that's
do
communist.
exactly that.
Yeah.
Spotting the special needs scammer and
1984.
confronting him, exposing not only Gary's scheme in 4K, but also his shamelessness regarding what he was doing.
He says he makes $60,000 to $100,000 a year, and he admits he does so by tugging at your heartstrings.
Why that camera for?
Chances are you've seen him.
Try to get to the restaurant.
Sympathized with his wheelchair, his drawn hands, his story ripped at your heart.
I mean, his pupils are certainly really small. I certainly think he's on painkillers or opiates of some sort. All right.
Well, when you're lying professionally, you need to numb it somehow, don't you?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what, though? Does he have no self-respect at all?
I would go with a no, Vicky.
Because that, to me, like, I've been homeless and lived on the streets, and I was an alcoholic, and I was not in a good place, but I never begged. And to watch a man sit and do this and think it's funny and make all that money, to me, like, where are your morals? Where's your shame? Like, are you not ashamed of yourself? Because I would be. There's people out there that actually need that help.
Of course. It's like, but you know yourself, that if he is on drugs like I was, then yeah, it does go against the grain, but you deal with the guilt of it just for your drug addiction. You do things, it's immoral for your drug. I'm not saying he is a drug addict, but he certainly looks like he's on something here.
No,
he's too big to be an addict. Well, heroin addict. He's too chunky to be a heroin addict, but he's certainly influenced, and he's certainly got some kind of drug influence in his eyes.
Rethink. I take pain medication that's prescribed. It happens. Do you know what I mean?
It certainly does.
Yeah, but I don't see you out there in a wheelchair asking people for money.
No, exactly.
No, that's next weekend. I take her out in a wheelchair and she begs.
You're a dick. Like hell. Never.
I pushed her about Coventry. You know what I mean? That's why I'm off on Mondays. That's why I'm off on Mondays, guys.
I would rather.
That's when we go around Coventry, Birmingham, all the Midlands, just robbing people all the money by taking her out in a wheelchair and pretending that she's got a mental defect.
I do, but that's beside the point. But no, like, I would rather be on my ass and have nothing than beg anyone for anything.
This is shameless, isn't it? Be
Yeah.
honest.
You know,
especially if it's true. I mean, I do think these stories do get made up by these news things, but these things do happen. These things do happen.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
What?
Over the Road.
Yeah, a little bit.
But she has LDs, but she also is the type of person that, because you can go to a food bank however many times a year,
She will.
She'll go just because she can, not that she needs
can.
to.
Yeah.
Like, she did it once and I went mad because
She'll
the
take
stuff
it
that sat in
free.
her
She'll
living
take
room
it for
for 2
free.
months.
She'll take charity for free rather than paying for what she can when she's got the money for it. She'll rather go and order it for free when that could go to someone else that needs it. You know what I mean? Anyway, can we get on with it? I'm getting nowhere, baby.
Bad. It's so bad.
It is bad. It is bad.
Give me money and to get some eat.
The wreck left him with limited mobility, but it certainly didn't make him mentally handicapped, and we knew better. You were just talking to McFine a second ago.
When?
Because the newsreaders are very dramatic. Yeah, because we knew that. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. It could just be for effect, but, you know, these things do happen, whether this is a fake story or not.
Police say he's taken.
They caught him. That's all.
I do think to some degree this guy has been doing that. I mean, he certainly looks like he's been doing it. But they probably hyped the story up more than it needed to be. You know what I mean? Some of the information's been embellished, and you know what I'm saying? Like 2.5 million was probably 2.5 grand.
They've made him think he was like some celebrity, which is sad.
Well, that's sometimes what the internet does.
His act on tour of the city to places like the Lansdowne Shops, Hamburg, and the Zandale corridor of Nicholasville Road. We busted this bogus beggar right outside the police department. Just minutes.
It's back to Mandela effect. That one just was a plain white sign. Weird.
after a press conference about it.
I'm the best in legs. I appreciate you guys busting me.
Appreciate this.
Yeah, I'm really good at it, really good. I clear about $100,000 a year doing this.
$100,000 a year.
Yeah, about 60 to 100.
The 30-year-old said he's from Austin, Texas, and has done the same thing there.
See,
He also says he's got a
job.
degree in speech-language pathology. He's combined that training with his wheelchair and found that panhandling pays.
Ready to move to another city?
No, what do you call it? Panhandling.
Yeah, that's what we call it over here.
Panhandling. Panhandling to me is to do with thingy and gold. You know, panning for gold. But there we go. Panhandling. Okay.
Thomas, we all do have issues, and that's the thing. Like, nobody's perfect.
No, definitely not.
The reason they call it panhandling over here, PJ, is because back in the old days, when the gold rushes and stuff, the hobos would sit out and panhandle for food for the day, and then they'd go out and pan for gold.
Mm. Yeah. Right, let's get past
whether they
this.
hit it or not. Yeah.
This is a sponsor, right? This is on to right because he's got a sponsor.
You know what I can do, Roger, though, that you can't?
Oh, what's that?
I can cross the road anywhere I like.
Right. Yeah, jaywalking. There's no such thing as jaywalking.
No.
I've got tickets for that. I got a $300, $50 fine in Vegas for crossing in the middle of the strip.
We do have crossovers, obviously, but there's no law saying you can't cross the roads.
No.
I mean, you don't.
I have never paid
anyway.
I didn't pay it. I didn't.
That's a weird thing, jaywalking. I was like, what?
I know, but it's a clever way of the government making money out of you, isn't it?
Well, they do that here with other things, baby. You know that.
I
Right.
know.
I'm getting over this. I'm just getting over it. Let's carry on.
Town and was shacked up in a hotel down in Glasgow, Kentucky. The
Glasgow,
man using the money
Kentucky.
previously earned from acting extremely.
There's Ouija's in Kentucky chilling, man. Can you believe that? Ouija's in Kentucky, man.
Oh,
Ouija's in Kentucky. No way.
Extremely disabled to finance the spot. ABC 13 reporter Melissa Warren went to investigate, finding Gary at the Happy Valley Inn. The pot-bellied panhandler was laid up looking well-fed and content in a hotel bed when the two spoke.
And chillings, how much for a wheelchair? Just break your leg, chilling, go to hospital. They'll give you a wheelchair ticket out for a cigarette and just wheel yourself out with it, man.
Chilling, I'll get one and send it up to you.
And no victim of crimes should be punished more. Yeah, exactly. If there's exactly. And if there's no victims in it, it shouldn't be a crime. If nobody's been stolen from, if nobody's been hurt, nobody's been killed, nobody's been harassed, it shouldn't be a crime. It shouldn't be a crime.
And in this chat, Gary said he was done acting disabled. Though, what do you know? He was lying.
Even in Kentucky, non-educated delinquents in Kentucky.
It's a pretty place. It is.
Are you still there? Babe,
No, I ran away.
Why did you run away?
I didn't really. Yeah. Sea Lightning, nobody will be watching that here.
Oh, no, I will not be watching that.
No.
Not at all.
DJ New Moon can go suck a doorknob.
Yeah, no, thank you. Not after him lying about
dog
me.
shite.
Lying about me making videos. Yes, he took them away, but he still lied about me.
Yeah, no,
I
making
mean,
threats to me.
blamed it on Mikey, and it was nothing to do with Mikey. Anyway,
Made threats to me that if I didn't do stuff. No, I'm just saying. So no, I won't be watching.
No, they want nothing to do with DJ New Moon. That's it. Yeah,
Ever since that, he hasn't said anything in the Discord chat at all. He's been real quiet.
But he hasn't come and apologized to me either. So, and he wants an apology off me for what? For him talking about me? No, thank you.
Heard he was at the Happy Valley Inn. And
Nothing against you, Sea Lightning. You're all good, man. You're all good. Mikey's all good.
No,
You're
nothing
all
against you at all.
Nothing
Just
against
don't
you
like
guys. You know that.
DJ
You're
New
always
Moon.
welcome, yeah.
Go
You're
away.
always welcome, yeah, bro. Who just came in?
Mikey said.
Saddlebum, good to see you. Good to see you, bro.
Hi, Saddlebum. Mikey watched that review me and Ryan did.
Yeah, Mikey watched it and he says, fair play. Fair play.
He says all good.
I got an answer back from RV. You know that what Air India one I did? He came in the comments and said, thank you, bro.
He did?
Yeah, RV did, yeah. John, I got a reply from RV. I'm starstruck, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Nah, he's
That's
got
no RV with a superstar.
It's the first time he's ever addressed me, though. I mean, I've been in the same chat as him in Flats once, but we didn't talk. I was on silent while him and Flats were talking. Do you know what I mean? So I've never had him address me.
When I used to go over to Eddie's, he used to be in the chat over there all the time.
Aye, Harvey's cool, man. I like Harvey.
Sure enough, he was. So we asked him if the reports of his begging and pretending to be disabled were true.
We sued Honda of America for $2.4 million like
it's
years
another
ago,
dude.
but that money
Oh, no,
was
it's the same
gone
one.
after the market crashed, and then I was homeless. My mom has cancer, so then I had to panhandle to have a place to stay and to be able to eat.
Now, did you stop panhandling?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you say you haven't been doing that since you've been in Glass.
I know that video, that PJ, that RV video saying the Air India plane crash fake is insane.
Huh.
Yeah, you do. What do you mean? You don't think it's? You don't? I know. I don't think he's saying the plane crash is fake. The guy who's meant to have jumped out of it is bullshit.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I think it is. I mean, that's what I was commenting on anyway. Obviously, something exploded. You know what I mean? The plane went down. But I think it could have been set up, obviously. But I just don't think. I don't think he was saying the plane crash was fake.
No,
the guy jumping out of it is totally didn't happen. That's for sure.
There was no burns on him or no singed hair or nothing, right? Yeah. He was untouched completely, right?
No, he's not saying this. He's not saying that the plane crash was fake.
Yeah.
He's not saying that. Not that I get from him. Not from that video I did anyway.
Chilling.
What's Chilling said? After listening to Flats last night and PJ mentioning RV, I'm going to start selling. Don't go full Luca t-shirts. But yeah, very soft. That dude. There's no way he jumped out of that. Walked out of that plane.
Hey PJ, does the sun change in angular size?
Oh, you better ask Luca that. He knows better than us.
No, ma'am.
One hotel manager says that's not the case.
I've lost a lot of customers because they don't want to come here and be, people bumming from them as soon as they walk out the door.
She says he's also threatened to sue her by having a wheelchair accident.
He turns it over right there at that Coke machine.
Why do you think he does that?
Because he's out to try to sue because, that's how he gets by in life, by suing people.
The neighboring grocery store says they've witnessed him begging
Oh,
there.
no. Oh, sorry, I must have read your thing wrong, Terry. I thought you were telling me, Terry, that you thought you were saying, PJ, that RV video saying the Air India plane crash fake is insane. I thought you were saying the RV was saying the plane crash being fake is insane. Obviously, you were saying something else because then you asked me, was RV saying the plane crash is fake? No, not the plane crash. The story of the guy surviving. Obviously, the plane crash happened. Something exploded, but I think it was set up, obviously, for that. They do that crap. The plane definitely went down and something definitely exploded. But it's just all the stuff that's not scorched and that. You know what I mean? That's the footage we're getting. The footage we're getting is fake footage of the plane, but the plane definitely went down. You know what I mean?
No, but have you seen how they travel?
What?
The way they travel by train in India. Would you get on a plane, an Indian plane? Because I wouldn't.
Oh, hell no. But it just took off. It took off 30 seconds and then crashed. Yeah. That's what they said. Anyway,
I wouldn't have got on it anyway.
Yeah, anyway, let's carry on.
To be outside in the parking lot begging people for money / wanting to use their phone, and he's even came in and personally asked me for some free food in the past.
And Adwell says he's good at what he does.
I called him out by his name and let him know that I was aware of who he was. And
the plane going down and exploding and the guy's story and the footage you're getting of the plane parts are not fitting because there's no scotch marks on them plane parts whatsoever. It just doesn't fit together. It looks actually, some of the parts look rusted, like it's old parts from before. The guy he was raiding the roof high.
That brings up
The light
brings
going
up-
on roofs.
Is that insurance fraud? You think maybe? You think they?
Maybe.
It could be. Yeah.
Come on,
He still didn't break character, so he does it fairly well.
Even if I were to panhandle, I couldn't say it because I just couldn't. Honestly, I'm the best in the world, though, the best panhandler in the world.
Yes, it appears after
he's proud of that. He's proud of that. He's the best panhandler in the world, guys. Best panhandler.
What a thing, eh? To be the best at. Wow.
Brilliant.
Leaving Lexington, Gary simply moved to a different region of the state and employed the same scheme on a new population that was less privy to his tactics. The guy was an absolute menace, and with flimsy law.
Yes, like the hijacker was found in 9/11. Yeah. Like they couldn't find the black boxes in 9/11, but they could find DNA bone fragments. You know what I mean? DNA bone fragments, but they couldn't find the black boxes that were in.
No, but they found ID that was on the plane.
Yeah, I know that.
Just on the street. Yeah, just sitting there.
Like what?
Yeah.
You just
one thing they found.
Ridiculous.
The one thing they found that amazes me was the Rolls Royce engine of the airplane. It didn't match the airplane that hit the building.
Exactly. This whole thing's weird. Whole thing's weird. The whole footage as well of the people on the streets and all that. All weird. All weird.
Laws regarding panhandling in Kentucky at the time, there was little to dissuade Gary from perpetrating his theatrics.
I'm the best in the world, though, the best panhandler in the world. I clear about $100,000 a year doing this. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta make some money. Sue Honda of America, $2.4 million.
Now, did you stop panhandling?
Yes, ma'am.
It seemed as if nothing could stop Gary, and the state of Kentucky would forever be forced to suffer at the crippled hands of the bogus beggar. That was until John Bowl enters the picture.
I'm John Bowl. John Bowl, Wave 3 News. John Bowl.
Wave 3? You heard of Wave 3, anybody?
No,
any good? No? Doesn't sound like the bigger stations like CNN and that, though, does it?
No.
It's like
That's a local station.
Local, it seems like it,
John Bowl with Wave 3.
The bogus beggar became internationally infamous.
Get out of my face, John.
Okay.
John Bowl, who is retired these days, was a seasoned reporter who worked for WAVE News in Louisville, Kentucky. John was known for his skills as an on-the-ground investigative journalist and was no stranger to busting crooks.
Well, did you know, Lou? So what is that? You say aluminium and plastic can smash through steel and concrete. You saw it on TV. Really? Does that really happen? Wow. I suppose you're right. It was on TV, so... I mean, it sounds impossible, doesn't it? But we've seen it on TV.
For anyone who doesn't know what aluminium is, you call it aluminum.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And calling out corruption in the state. Witnessing the bogus beggar's unchecked rampage around Kentucky, John essentially became the Batman to this joker, making it his mission to expose Gary at every turn possible. He was quite successful at this venture, catching Gary multiple times lying about...
Does look a bit rough there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Could just be a bit weathered, because he's out in the street all the time. His head's scuffed up. Could be makeup, though. I mean, if it's a true story, fair enough. But if it's made up, these things still happen.
I think somebody may have caught him in something and beat the crap out of him once or twice, maybe.
Maybe fell over.
Is that a star on the ground, or is that just a leaf? Is that a Baphomet star, or is that just a leaf?
Where?
To the left of me.
No, it's a leaf, I think.
Is it? Right. Okay.
But it does look like it. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Panhandling Act. John began personally documenting Gary and his disability grift in 2014. After receiving a tip indicating that Gary was unsurprisingly still begging for money, though this time in John's home turf of Louisville, Kentucky. John Bowl took to the streets and secretly documented Gary's movements, catching him panhandling in front of stores and restaurants, and even standing up and walking rather effortlessly at times, drawing into question how much Gary even needed his wheelchair. But the most damning of his on-the-ground research to this point came in the form of...
Okay, pause this if you need to talk. I need to go to the toilet now.
Okay.
Yep, he's a mason. He's a meth mason.
I would put a robot.
All right. Right, you can handle it, but I'll go to it.
The hidden camera confrontation of Gary by John. Gary was still using the disabled voice to get donos.
When he spotted a guy in a tie, he saw a potential payday. But it was me, wearing a hidden camera.
Please help, but spare my wheelchair today and all my coins. Somebody take it.
You fell out of your wheelchair today?
Yeah, mine need to get butt spare, get back home.
What's wrong with you?
Mine was hit by a truck when 9-year-old, but I no hurt that bad, just a little bit. Left side hit me preset.
What is your name?
My name's Gary David.
Gary Davis?
Nice to meet you.
When I pulled out another camera, everything changed. You're really Gary Thompson.
What, Rog?
About his injury. He's lying about his injury. He said he was hit by a bus.
A truck.
He was in yeah.
I know.
Something. Yeah.
I know, but it's actually quite comical now.
He probably got a million stories how he got hurt.
I know, but I kind of want to hear them all because it's funny.
Yeah. My name is John Bull with Wave. Been watching you. You're the bogus beggar guy that makes $100,000 a year, right? And you're able to change your voice? I've seen all the stories on you.
That's a lie.
That's a lie? No. I noticed your speech got a little bit better just now.
That's a lie.
I never asked him nothing. I'm going to Churchill Down.
Gary, I know what your deal is now. Let's just be real here, okay?
I'm not doing no deal. Leave me off camera. No one will be on it.
Is it true that you burned through $2.5 million in a motorcycle crash lawsuit?
Not burn. Don't want to be on camera. I break it.
Don't you feel bad doing this, faking it like this when there are real people out here?
I'm faking nothing.
This report from John was particularly damning for Gary.
I'm not faking nothing. You're right.
He's speaking clear English like 5 minutes ago, man.
I know, I'm not faking nothing. You've been caught a billion times.
Oh, no.
And if not, then you're acting it.
Nobody got hit by a truck.
I know when it was a three-wheeler earlier on, and then it was in Iraq
just
as well.
Said a three-wheeled truck.
Yeah, a three-wheeled truck. Yeah. A Robin-reliant truck. And they also said he was in Iraq.
It is kind of funny, though. I'm not going to lie.
Iraq? I mean, he doesn't look old enough for Iraq. Maybe Afghanistan, not Iraq.
Look, for a bloke in his 30s.
It would have been Afghanistan. He said Iraq, didn't he? But he wouldn't be old enough for Iraq.
No, Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, yeah. Maybe
he was already disabled by then, so he definitely didn't go walk.
No, I know.
As many in the public had believed, the beggar had since moved on from using the, disgusting, exaggerated, mentally handicapped character, and they thought he stopped panhandling, only to find that he was still making thousands of dollars doing this bullshit. The report was shared amongst news stations around the state, and unlike before, it was now becoming pretty difficult to find a person on the street who was unaware of who Gary the...
I have legs. I can see. Thank you. I'm so thank you.
We got the perfect person for him. Todd White could heal this man of all his ailments.
I'm telling you, Todd White, dude, he'll heal you and be sensual with you at the same time, and he'll be sensual with you and God to have a threesome. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah,
well,
that's Todd White.
Chilling. Tries independent co. Never thought of that.
If people are choosing to give him money, so you can't really play.
No.
Come on, LJ. Come on. Maybe for a couple of times, but not for making 100. If it's a true story, I mean, not making 100 grand a year or not. No way. That's just
keep robbing his wheelchair.
Bogus beggar was. The guys soon found it near impossible to find marks for his scam and would get called out in public when he tried.
I didn't think you would say something like that seriously, bro. That's why I'm laughing. That's your man.
His act. Gary actually spoke to a man on the street around this time and threw a pity party for himself, whining about how nobody would give him money anymore, and also adding that he couldn't find a job.
He's whining that people won't give him money anymore. I wonder why.
Yeah, but he's glowing.
Yeah, he's red. He's like pink almost. Yeah.
Like a lobster.
He's always out there in the sun, you know what I mean? He's grafting. You know what I mean? Grafting
With all that money, he should buy himself some suntan lotion.
Or an electric wheelchair.
Well, yeah.
Take some $100,000 and invest it in his grift. Yeah.
Kind of. Somebody says he looks like this guy, Alex Jones. Hicks kind of looks like him a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Gary, is the job application in the room with us now?
Every place I've been out there for a job, they don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah? So they've been calling you worse than a worthless POS?
Tell me they wanted to burn
That's
me with
it.
gasoline if I
That's it. For Jack's all he's got to do is to move another city and start over again. That's it. And that's what he was doing. Well, that's what he was allegedly doing. Yeah. Going from city to city.
Look, don't hate the player, hate the game.
So don't say any cuss words, but
Yeah.
that's pretty bad.
That's a good one, Vicky.
Yeah. Don't you realize that you really should leave town?
I don't have any money.
Yeah, well, you've made it this far without it.
Well, I'm not going to ask anyone for any money.
Yeah, okay.
Things only got worse for Gary.
Was that a hint? I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask anybody for any money.
10 minutes later, he's over on the corner asking for money.
I promise I'll never do it again.
He wasn't asking vocally at that guy, but he was asking with his eyes.
Hey, Jimenez.
In the house.
Oh, good God.
Nice.
He was slowly being made to deal with the consequences of his public fleecing in a legal capacity. The man often found himself in courtrooms, and even here he utilized his disabled character. This recording shows a judge doubling a fine issued at Gary after she realized that he was faking the special needs voice in her courtroom to gain
way.
You did? You can't make this shit up, can you?
Wish to speak in a clear, understandable voice, you do so. The voice you used with me this morning was a voice that I feel certain you were trying to garner sympathy from this court by indicating that you may be having mentioned.
That's a good lawyer.
He needs one.
No, do you know what though? They should make a film about this bloke.
Yeah, you'd watch it, wouldn't you?
Wouldn't you?
You know what they say over here? If you've got, do you know what they say over here? Someone who represents themselves in court has got a fool for a lawyer.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah. See, we call them lawyers in Scotland as well. Down here in England, they call them solicitors. Where I'm from in Scotland, we call them lawyers like you guys. But down here in England, it's solicitor.
My solicitor was that good. He missed me second court appearance and then turned up when I was going back and went, do you want me to come and represent you? And I went, no, you didn't do a very good job last time because you didn't turn up.
Isn't a solicitor just a posh name for a lawyer?
Yeah.
But we don't call them lawyers, we call them solicitors.
In England, yeah, they don't call them lawyers. In Scotland, we do. Where I'm from in Scotland, anyway, we call them
lawyers. Go to law school, but no, they're solicitors.
Lawyer or your brief?
Lawyers, same.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we actually say it where I'm from. You're liar. Go and phone your liar.
That's how
I would actually say lawyer where I'm from is liar. Pronounce it liar.
My cousin's a solicitor.
Go and phone your liar.
Condition that did not permit you to speak clearly.
The bogus beggar's legal situation would only worsen. The man was arrested multiple times throughout 2014 for infractions related to his begging misadventures and would begin to rack up a laundry list of fines and misdemeanor charges. But being a fraud and faking mental disability...
Oh, no, I have to see his mugshot number.
There it is.
Oh, no way. No way. There it is. Right,
says everything, doesn't it?
That just tells me, look, the story's probably fake.
But they could make a film about it and call
Yeah, they
it
could.
the tales of
I
the
am
bogus
so glad
beggar.
I went back to that number. So glad I went back to that number. You know, I didn't see it, and I thought, well, let's go check it just to see if there's any significant. There it is. There it is, right there. There it is.
Plain as day.
Babe,
that's the one. What?
They could make a film and call it The Tales of the Bogus Beggar.
Told you. Imagine that, eh? It's tell you what, we've got some discernment in these chats, haven't we? We've got some discernment. Yeah, it's a big story. It's a big story. But the guy doing it, he doesn't know it's fake.
Times throughout 2014 for infractions related to his begging misadventures, and would begin to rack up a laundry list of fines and
It
misdemeanor.
was the Star-shaped leaf, aye. That's it. That was the start of it. But yeah, there you go. I just had a feeling to go back to that mugshot number. Just had a feeling.
Charges. But being a fraud and faking mental disability is really only scratching the surface of what this piece of shit was up to in 2014. This guy is truly something else.
Well, when the story, he said he was 30. At one point in his chair, he said he was 30. So it depends how old the story really is, you know?
Accused of trying to swindle people around the state.
People will believe the story. I mean, there's maybe a bit of truth to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that just said it all. As soon as I was like, let's go check that number. I wasn't even going to go back and check it. I let it play for like a minute, I think. And I thought, oh, hold on, let's go back and check it, just to be sure. And then I got rid of us, and there it was. Sass.
So, PJ, you think that the media would make up a hype story like this just to make ratings out of it?
And then if you add up the 2, 7, and 3, that makes 12. That's 2 6s as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. 2 6s as well. And yeah, busted, bogus, beggar, 666. Saddlebum noticed that. Fair play. Nice. But yeah, even the odd numbers in his mug and his police number, his crime number, whatever you want to call it, his tag, his mugshot number. Yeah, that adds up to 12, and that's 2 6s as well. You know, it's all 6s.
He's facing more serious charges.
A grand jury indicted Gary Thompson.
Right, just quickly. Yeah, Gary Thompson. I don't know what that is. Can someone check that in gematria? Gary Thompson.
Just see what this is.
Yeah, I know. Well,
calculator.
Can someone check? Can someone check the gematria for Gary Thompson?
This time, weirdly,
I've got gematria here somewhere, but if someone can do it quickly, it'd be easier because I want to.
There was a Gary Thompson at my school.
Oh yeah. Right, and he was arrested for that. Right, okay.
More on this latest charge.
Frankfurt police say the victim in this case actually has an intellectual disability. Unlike the man charged with rape, who's admitted to...
There it is again, look. Bogus beggar.
BB.
Yeah.
Bogus beggar graper.
E-F-G. G is 8. That's 88. G is 88. GG is 88. I know there's meaning for 88, isn't there? I can't remember what. But I know there's meaning in 88. Anyway.
Called the film Only Fools and Wheelchairs.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Julian. I like that.
This is a shame, though, guys. Think about it. Think about how many people who actually are in wheelchairs and need help. If people like this go out.
Right. Look, and do you know, like, there's the truth in plain sight as well. Even this involved, it's saying bogus beggar. It's telling you it's a bogus story. Bogus beggar story. That's what it's telling you that as well. It's telling you in plain sight that this is a bogus story.
Thomas said it would be hilarious if we rolled up in the background.
Mm-hmm.
On February 11th, 2014, it was reported that Gary had befriended a mentally disabled woman and allegedly raped her. According to the State Journal publication Giving Consent, Gary Thompson, his brazen and illegal act wheels again really hit the of America's own Eye of Sauron, but had also been defrauding the government as well.
Hot
The
Wheels.
FBI alleged that from 2009 to
Wheels of Steel himself.
2013, Gary misrepresented the nature of his disability in order to receive supplemental security income, a form of social security money that's divvied out to a specific cohort of those with disabilities. Apparently, he was playing his up to fit that description.
It could be a partly true story, but then he's used for all this. You know what I mean? All this attention and all this symbology and that. So it could be partly true. It could have been a Beggar, but then he's been made kind of famous through internet and stuff like that, and just there you go, and just added a lot of bogusness to it. How you doing, Luke?
Hello.
Hey.
How you
How's
doing?
What do you think so far?
Well, it's interesting because living in Thailand and being on stage a lot, I've got to slow down my speech and speak really clearly. And so I have a bit of an opener where I say, okay, guys, you understanding me? Am I speaking clearly enough, slowly enough? And it was after this gig once, I was chatting to this really posh English woman. And after about 5 minutes, she said, "Excuse me, Matthew, do you mind me asking, are you Australian by any chance?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Thank God. I thought there was something wrong with you."
That's good.
Yeah, of course I could drop the link for Rumble, bro.
I've already done it.
Oh, have you? Okay. I didn't see it. Sorry, I was. Oh, she's done it. Nice one, nice one. Is that for this one? But yeah, of course. That's funny, but yeah. Like I said, it could be partially a true story. He maybe was begging and all that, but they've used him. They've used him for all this kind of publicity and clicks and symbology and all that crap. You maybe, I bet, tell you what, you're probably getting a bit of back pay for this. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. I'm so glad we went and checked the numbers.
Please help, but
I am normal. It just helps to be mentally handicapped.
As a result of this fraud, Gary
I'm normal. It helps to be mentally handicapped. Sounds like something Vicky would say.
Oh, God. Vicky, you gonna take that?
Oh, look, we all know I am. All that.
No.
I've got quite a few screws loose. They're not loose. They're just missing. They're just missing.
Nuts, bolts, screws, clips, jubilee clips, and
some spanners,
spoons.
You're dead.
Be arrested and later pled guilty in March of 2016 to falsely representing his mental condition in order to collect over $106,000 in Medicaid and disability benefits. Because of this, Gary would no longer be sitting fat in a happy inn.
Let me just see if I've got a geometry calculator somewhere. I did have one.
Where's Wombat at when you need him?
I
know. My phone is stuck at 3% and just won't go down. Lol.
I've definitely got one. It's just so it's bookmarks. I've got so much of my bookmarks, hard to find them.
Chillin said, "I'm gonna try and sleep, but I'll be listening." Good night, Chillin. I'll be going to bed soon because he's knackered.
Aye, I'm waiting for the brick wall. Hold on. Gematria calculator. Gematria calculator. Let me just get one out. Insert phrase.
Do you know what I find weird?
Like
for me, right? So having a
was
physical.
Hold on a minute. Was it Gary Thompson with a P or Gary Thompson with just an M? Was it Thompson?
No, Thompson.
Was it a P or without a P?
I don't know his name.
Let me look. Right, his name's it'll be written down somewhere. Right. It'll be in this. Right, hold on.
Later pled guilty in March of 2016.
What, Gary?
Thompson.
Yeah, it's Thompson. It's Thompson. Right, carry on.
I find it sad because, like, for me, I have a physical disability and I hate it, and I do as much as I can, and sometimes I push myself too much. But when people actually want to pretend that they're like that, it's baffling.
And I know Hebrew Gematria 916, English Gematria 1026, and simple gematria 171.
Let me try it now.
Let me do it with the Hank.
Well, Vic,
I'm
if
going.
you play up your handicap, you can make a lot of money.
Look, I ain't going out drifting nowhere. I'm not going to be like Gary.
Nothing significant.
Don't be like Gary.
Right. Do you see you going, babe?
Yeah, I'm going to go watch in bed. Otherwise, I won't go to sleep because this is just too funny.
That's it. Well, now I've got 10 minutes of this left, and then I'll be heading over to Rumble for 2 episodes of Chosen, and then Ridiculous 6.
Love you.
Love you too, baby.
Love you all.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.
Years behind bars. And with that, the bogus beggar
pic looks
had
like
finally
AJ.
been stopped. At least that's what...
Sorry, bro.
That looked like AJ, Alex Jones.
Oh, it did. It did a little bit, didn't it? It did. It did. Let's go back a sec. It really did. Certainly did.
Yeah, that's the J Toms.
I'm the freaking fox, kid.
I've been swapped out. That's why I look different at the moment. I'm going deep under Carter. As you know, my family was ex-CIA.
Pretty good at them, mate. He is. He's quite good at mimicking people. It's pretty good. He's Lucas brilliant.
That's what you might think.
Give me money
Why
to get some
Hey.
eat. For money, I won't act mental.
Whenever I ask you for money, I won't act mental. Whenever I ask you for money, I won't act mental. Why isn't that camera for?
I'll just not act retarded anymore and get the money and just I'll be normal.
Seeing the scammers return, Gary's arch nemesis, reporter John Bull, would return to the streets, seeking to bust the beggar yet again, and prove the crook had learned nothing from his time in federal pen. In a stroke of luck, John happened to spot Gary in the act at a Louisville gas station, and he would stake out the position for a time before confronting the beggar, like Chris Hansen pulling up on a pizza-munching pedophile.
Yep, that's Gary Thompson right there. I've been following him around Louisville where he's doing the same thing. Same spots, same stores, same routine.
Yeah, Jesus
so I went
on.
undercover and walked by him, working people for money at these gas pumps.
Mine was like a big red and $2 for bus fare, please.
$2 for bus fare?
$1.50 there and $1.50 back, so that makes $2, right? $1.50, $1.50. How much that equals?
$2 fee, $1.50, that $1.50, that makes $2, right? Come on. Come on. Like,
Yeah, he's playing stupid now. That's all
yeah,
he's doing.
come on. That's beyond it. I mean, you wouldn't go that far because, come on, everybody knows most people can count that amount nowadays, you know?
I think he's just working through material.
Yeah, but he probably
is. He's just trying it out.
Yeah, yeah. Then at the weekend, he's Alex Jones.
$3. The Mental Disability Act changes when he recognizes who he's talking to.
Are you Gary?
Are you John Bull?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Gary.
So I pull out another camera again. That you're still faking your condition, embellishing your condition.
Sir, I'm not conditioned.
What?
He does look a little crusty there, doesn't he? He does look a little crusty, like he's been in a bit some drugs and that, but yeah, they've certainly embellished this story, I think.
When I first walked up on you, you kind of had your voice change.
Yeah, I have personality, different personalities at times.
I think he's definitely taking opiates. He's definitely an opiate.
Tells me
you have different personalities. He says he has multiple personalities and then starts having physical problems right there.
That's a muscle spasm, sir.
You're what?
That's a muscle spasm.
You just had a muscle spasm?
Yes, sir. I can walk a little bit.
He shows me his physical problems, but I keep going back to his intellectual ability. What do you say to people who say you didn't learn anything in prison, you're still faking your condition?
They're liars. I'm not faking any condition.
But isn't that what you were convicted of faking?
That's a man. Oh, hey, Jeff Guy said, good to see you, bro. I've never seen a beggar with a real disability. There you go.
Faking your condition with getting government money?
That's got pled guilty, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not faking any condition. My left side is paralyzed.
You saw the videotape like over in Lexington where you're laughing about it and you're saying, yeah, I make $100,000 a year, I can change my voice, which we've seen you do.
I'm disabled, John, mentally and physically.
So how long have you been in Louisville?
About a month now.
About a month? What are you going to do next?
Go to Hollywood.
Try to get a job somewhere and do the right thing and straighten my life out. I'm homeless, John. I'm not a bogus beggar. I don't have anything. I wasn't bogus before. That's all I have to say to you. Have a good day.
Okay.
But this battle of words between John and Gary was simply a warm-up, and their feud would continue, with John relentlessly documenting the antics of the beggar.
Why is that going out of sync? That went out of sync for me. Let me just, don't know why that happened. Let me just refresh it a second. That went out of sync for me. 2 seconds, guys. It'll kick me out, and I'll be back in a second. 24:10.
As an actor, if he can't get a job in Hollywood, he could get a job for NASA as an astronaut, I reckon.
We could have a first handicap astronaut.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That's got some victim points.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be pretty woke.
Yeah. All we need is we already got Dom Pettit. So we already have a
yeah, he's kind of yeah. He's low IQ at the best.
Yeah. But it's really good engineering.
Really we can't go back to the moon. We lost that technology. We destroyed that technology. It's a difficult process to build it back again.
I've put that link in that you give me in WhatsApp. I'm going to play it after this is finished.
He wound up jailed here at Metro Corrections for most of this year after a stabbing melee at a 3rd Street apartment. The police report charging him with 2 counts of assault notes in an argument over some cigarettes that reminded him of an 8-ball of cocaine and $65 he lost earlier, Thompson struck the victim with his fist, stood up from his wheelchair and attempted to stab victim 1. Victim number 2 was also stabbed in the torso. Then Thompson stabbed himself, saying he wanted to die. In July, he pleaded guilty, got probation, got back out on the streets of Louisville, and I immediately started getting complaints ranging from the same old act to an attempted jewelry theft at a local mall.
Thanks to John's reporting, it was clear to see that this guy likely wasn't capable of reform. He would continue his fraudulent panhandling, criminal misconduct, and illicit shenanigans with seemingly no end in sight. But thankfully, with him being exposed and made infamous, these acts were becoming harder and harder for him to perpetrate. The party was coming to an end. The final boss battle between John and the bogus beggar occurred a couple of years ago, with a downtrodden Gary being confronted by John one last time. And what typically plays out in a war of words this time becomes physical.
Are you John Moe?
Yes.
You got a hidden camera?
Hey, Gary. When I come back with a cameraman, Thompson is perturbed. Do you know why people would be calling me to complain about you?
I think I have an idea.
You have an idea?
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm homeless and I'm hungry.
You're homeless and hungry?
And I asked for food, yeah. And I asked for money for food. Yes. Get that in my face, John.
Okay, so part of the complaints are that you're doing this mentally ill thing again.
Mentally ill? I'm sure what I'm going to do to you, John.
What's that?
I'm sure what I'm going to do to you, John.
That might be legit.
Yeah.
John had gotten the better of Gary. His panhandling schemes and unhinged nature now fully exposed to the public. It's with this that the journalist considered his work with the beggar complete. It's important to remember that it's mostly because of John's relentless pursuance of this criminal that the bogus beggar's activities came to light at all. The citizens of the state of
Tail of the Dragon, eh? Tail of the Dragon. It's Tisha.
Yeah, says it.
Kentucky really are eternally in this reporter's debt for relieving them of Gary's nuisance panhandling persona. John Bull has recently retired from media, leaving behind a legacy of exposing dozens upon dozens of frauds and making Kentucky a better place for everyone that lives there.
Just a few more minutes now until I end my news career after more than 40 years in broadcast journalism.
We're so excited to have him around us.
Yeah, so you can see I have a lot to live for, right?
Yeah.
And I have my dad and my sister and we're going to have so much fun. Didn't we have fun ice fishing?
And look at how many lives you have impacted, lives and careers. You have been a part
I'll
of so
say
many
it for
lives
John Bull.
and touched so many people.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody, man. I never expected anything like this.
John's scorned nemesis, as you might expect, cannot
Wait,
claim such a
yeah.
happy ending to his story. As recently as October 4th of 2024, Gary Thompson was arrested and charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct and 2 counts of making terroristic threats after being involved in what has been described as a knife fight.
40-year-old Gary Thompson was arrested by Paintsville
Boy.
police Saturday, charged with trespassing, solicitation,
PJ, hold on a
disorderly
second.
conduct.
Yeah.
What else do you describe besides a knife fight as a knife fight? You get what I'm saying? What has been described as a knife fight. Yeah. If
Yeah.
there's a knife and there's a fight, it would be a knife fight,
Well,
right?
they could have been using a butter knife, Roger.
Okay, I get you.
They could have been using spoons or something. Yeah. Sharpened spoons. They might have been using a spot. They might have been using a spork.
God.
And resisting arrest. Police say Thompson fakes mental and physical disabilities.
When police arrived on scene, they found Gary screaming profanities.
bitch
When
fight
officers
with a
attempted
knife.
to detain him, Gary allegedly threatened to kill these officers when he got
He's
out
got
of jail.
Jesus on his
While
hoodie.
I'm unable to ascertain if Gary is locked up or what exactly he's doing right now, I'd like to point you to this mosaic. A collection of mugshot images taken of Gary over the years as a result of his criminal exploits. There's a lot going on here. Time after time after time, this man has been arrested, lightly punished, and warned to cut the crap. Gary never changes. He will continue to exploit, defraud, and lie his way back to jail, likely even to...
Jimenez just said, do the Don Pettit and Luca voice. Oh, for goodness sake.
Where are you going to combine the two
Prison
into one
again.
voice? I gotta hear that.
We could actually do like get AI to create an animation series where Luca is actually an astronaut and just talking about how legit everything is, and could work.
It could work. It could work. Be funny.
And while Gary has fallen further into obscurity in recent years and his act is pretty much over, no Kentuckian will ever forget the notorious tale of the bogus beggar.
Yeah, I'm really good at it, really good. I'm the
There
best
we
in the
go.
world, though, the best.
That's it done. That's it done. Seen all that before. It's only got like 30 seconds anyway.
That was excellent, man. Oh, look, it's Professor.
Yeah, he sounds like Luca too.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Dr. Luca.
So cool, man. Can't believe how you got it down to a T like that. Right, where's this? Right, I'm going to share this thing you give me on WhatsApp, the Trump thing. I nearly forgot about it. I should have downloaded it, but I didn't. This is there. Luke gave me this a couple of days ago on WhatsApp. This guy's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Is that ready to go? Right. Oh.
Aerial campaign. It was very successful in Isfahan, Natanz, and Fardel. We had the very successful Tom Cruise. He's very good at this. We had Tom Cruise, Harrison Ford, and Bugs Bunny. They did a very better than anybody's ever done ever. And me and BB, we love BB. We love BB Go. BB is a very great partner, a better partner than anybody ever. The best team probably in the history of teams ever, history of teamwork. Great work. Wow. No more plutonium in Iraq. Last night we launched an aerial campaign.
That's funny. That's funny. Right.
Is
cool.
the whole world really a stage, people? Is it really that bad?
Well, I think it might be. I think it might be. It
Well, I was
sounds
on,
like it.
watching in a few streams that Sov was doing, and it was all very, and for good reason, I understand it, about World War III, World War III, World War III. And I was just like, I was going full RV, but I'm like, I don't trust any of this stuff I'm seeing on the TV. I'm not saying there wasn't real bombs getting dropped and people aren't getting hurt and killed, but just that whole Trump sending those bombs to Iran, I'm thinking, nah, that's. I think that what I predicted that he's going to somehow come out of this the hero and like, look, I brought you peace. I told you, no one's ever done it before. I'm better than RFK, better than JFK.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No one's done peace like me before, ever. Everyone knows it.
Is it the greatest peace we've ever had? Are we?
That's it. Right, guys, we head over Rumble. I'll play out with Harry Mack first, then head over Rumble. And when we do, I'll just quickly play a song while I make a coffee. Then we'll get into the 2 episodes of Chosen, and then Ridiculous 6, which was a Roger pick. It's on Netflix. So no ads.
It's a ridiculous movie, actually. If you ever watch it,
it's quite funny. It's quite funny.
Hey, PJ, on the topic of scammers, I've found a genre in YouTube which is hackers. They're reverse scamming the call centers.
Yeah, I've done that. You got James Brown, you got James and all that. I used to watch Kit Boga. Kit Boga does that. Pleasant Green. He's a bit more diplomatic with it though. Jim Brown, he's an Irish one. And who was the other one? I can't remember. But I'm sub to a few of them. But yeah, they reverse them. They catch people in scams, and they end up kind of like stopping the money going out and all that if they can, and also exposing them, and sometimes making them pay by deleting all the computer crap and all that stuff. And then
they put viruses in their computer and they hijack their CCTV. So like while they'll just call them up on the phone and they know their real names and wow, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I've been watching some of them for years. I've never done a stream on them because it's never ever like scriptural kind of related, but it's something that's being done. Like and I get these phone calls as well, the same ones that they're exposing on YouTube, and I get these phone calls, people trying to do this. You know what I mean? Vicky's had and texts trying to get you to reply back, and you know what I mean?
I get those too.
I definitely just
get it all the time. Yeah.
Who was the other guy? Blimmin' hell. I think his channel is just called Scam Alert, but I can't remember his.
There's one I was watching called, I think it was called Scam Sandwich.
Scam Sandwich, don't know that one.
Sounds
Jim Browning. I think it's Jim Brown or Jim Browning. No, it's Jim Browning, I think. An Irish dude. He's like old school on YouTube. He's like an older dude doing it. But then you've got Kit Boga. He pretends he's got a voice changer, pretends to be Granny and all that. Pretends to be Granny getting scammed and ends up, you know what I mean, taking them for a ride and that. Really good, really good.
I got a question for you guys. Is Sav doing a show tonight? I don't see him post anything. Yeah. Well, Mikey wants to go on there, and he wants to know if Sav's having a show.
Mikey.
He usually does them Friday and Saturday night, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
I usually see him when I'm on my first movie. I usually see him go live and Rumble side. You know what I mean? So usually he does. But I mean, when I first started doing these movies at the weekend, Sav didn't used to do weekends, but then all of a sudden he started doing like more weekends than he did before. So yeah, he's on a lot more than he was.
Well, I don't see anything posted in here, but
when he posts his chat, when he goes live, though, he doesn't usually put it out until like half an hour before he goes live. Usually, just depends.
Yeah.
There you go. So typically doesn't post till 30 minutes prior. So I just said pretty much. Yeah. Right, Harry Mack. Then we'll get over to Rumble side. All right, let's do it.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's up?
Can I do a freestyle for you guys?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right, dope. But I need your participation. Could each of you give me 2 creative words to challenge me to use in my freestyle?
Love.
Bless you, Justin, man.
And manipulative.
Ooh, okay. Love, manipulative, and then let me get 2 from you as well.
Marijuana.
Marijuana
And happiness.
and happiness. Okay, all right. Love, manipulative, marijuana, and happiness. Y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
Do your shit.
Yeah. Y'all can hear the beat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Surfer. Okay. Yeah. Mac off the dome with the fluidness. Can't nobody out there ruin this. I was like, let me get 2 words each. She was like, okay, do your shit. I was like, damn, can I hear that beat? They were like, yeah, man, that shit sounds heat. Your energy, that's what I be enhancing. Soon as the beat drops, y'all start dancing. Hey, I'ma have your body moving. Hey, every time I rock, they grooving. Yeah, Mac off the top and I'm rising above. To my fans, y'all know that I be spreading that love. I'm about to make it look easy. I'm spreading that L to the O to the VE. Cause y'all know Mac got love for his fans. Got love for this mic that I hold in my hand. Hey, on to the game, I'll be faithful. And you know my flow is straight cold. What's that on the green box behind you? Looking like the box says play zone. I be in my zone, I don't play, and I'm staying hella fit on this microphone. Every time I spit, man, y'all know that Mac is really about to enter, and I'm hitting a new type of zone. Yeah, check out the way I'm creating. Shout out to homie that's puffing the vaping. I see the smoke, then it goes in the nostril. My flow is holy, just like an apostle. Out of the mouth, then it goes in the nose. I be getting busy when I'm kicking these flows. Yeah, check the way I'm ripping the shit. I keep it honest, I ain't never been manipulative. Yeah, not here to manipulate. Except I do manipulate the rhythm. I spit, degrade, articulate when spitting. Every time I rhyme, they envision it hitting. Gotta take it further. Mac about to serve ya. Y'all know I'm out here giving you more. They were like, please turn the volume down. Shouts to the person coming through the door. She was like, hold up, let me go and check. Someone popping in, man, it might be drama. Mac getting paper, I'll be stacking up the commas. I'm sure they get you lifted like you smoking marijuana. Yeah, I'ma get you lifted like the weed. Yes, indeed. When we finish, we'll be planting the seeds. We gotta grow our own cannabis. Ripping for Los Angeles. Every time I rhyme, I'm scandalous. I'm doing damages. Okay, I'm truly the man. Beat drops, then I got you moving your hand. Microphone, I be grabbing this. Marijuana filling you with happiness. I'm about to fill you up with joy, yeah. Every time I rhyme, I build, don't destroy. Oh no, yo, the phone got dropped. Oh no, I can't let the flow stop. Where we at? Pick up the phone. Every time that I rhyme, I be up in the zone. They be waving from the background, friend is back again. Both of y'all, I'm a rap for them. Yeah, every time I rhyme, I'ma slay the mic. They was dropping the phone, getting way too hype. Y'all know we here to build, never here to destroy. If y'all are fucking with it, go and make some noise. Let's go.
Yay! Yay. Right, guys, bless you. If you're not joining us on Rumble, thanks for joining us on YouTube. And if you're not joining us on Rumble, we'll see you tomorrow night. Or Reflexes or something like that. Bless you guys. Always a pleasure spending time with you. I'll see you over there or see you tomorrow.
Where did you come to dead to eternal life? I'm telling you.
He who sins it's free is free.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah.